"I can't take it any more. Charles Spencer has severed ties with Prince Harry after what he deems irresponsible actions." Imagine being part of a famous family where everything you do is watched by everyone. The pressure of family expectations can be overwhelming. When things go wrong, relationships can break down and tough choices must be made. Charles Spencer, Princess Diana's brother, has cut ties with Prince Harry. This move is due to Harry's irresponsible actions, but what happened to cause such a big change, and how did things get so bad between them? The once unbreakable bond between uncle and nephew Charles Spencer and Prince Harry was very close after Princess Diana's death. Spencer became a father figure to Harry, and they stood together during her funeral, showing their bond in grief. However, over time things changed. Harry's relationship with the royal family became strained. His move to the US with Meghan Markle and his public struggles caused tension. Spencer felt Harry's actions were raising eyebrows. So what changed? Why did Spencer, who had always supported Harry, decide to distance himself? The irresponsible actions that broke the camel's back started when Harry and Meghan spoke out against the royal family. Their interviews and public statements shook the monarchy. For Spencer, the final straw was Harry's repeated attacks on the family. Spencer felt Harry's public outbursts were irresponsible. He saw them as attacks on the family legacy. But was Harry justified in speaking his truth? Here's where things get interesting. Spencer was upset by Harry's public outbursts. He felt they were harmful to the family's reputation. But what specific events led Spencer to make his decision? In royal families, loyalty is key. Spencer's decision to cut ties with Harry wasn't easy. It stemmed from frustration, disappointment, and concern for the family's future. The idea of differing views on loyalty is relatable. Imagine having to choose between loyalty and your own well-being. It's tough. Add royal expectations and public scrutiny, and you can understand Spencer's dilemma. One incident that upset Spencer was Harry's involvement in the Netflix series Harry and Meghan. Spencer saw it as another step in Harry's quest for self-expression. The series reignited old wounds, and for Spencer, it was the final straw. The breakdown of their relationship wasn't sudden, it was more like a slow erosion. Sources suggest that Charles Spencer began distancing himself from Harry after multiple failed attempts to offer guidance. The once frequent phone calls and texts between uncle and nephew dwindled. And let's be real, haven't we all experienced this in our own lives? The gradual fading of communication with someone you once held dear. You might start with small disagreements, but before you know it, entire conversations are left unspoken. For Spencer, every new revelation from Harry, whether in an interview, memoir, or documentary, became another nail in the coffin. Family, after all, is supposed to be private sacred, even, and yet here was his nephew breaking that unspoken rule in the most public way possible. What does this mean for the royal family? Now, here's where things get interesting. What does this rift mean for the broader dynamics within the royal family? Could Charles Spencer's decision to cut ties with Harry influence others within the family to do the same? Could we be witnessing the beginning of a larger divide? It's no secret that the royals are no strangers to scandal or internal conflict, but this situation feels different. This isn't just a disagreement between cousins or a minor royal squabble. This is about a fundamental difference in how family members view loyalty, responsibility, and the public image of the monarchy. As you might imagine, this latest development has royal insiders buzzing. Will Prince William, who has already had his fair share of disagreements with Harry, follow suit? Will the Queen or other senior members of the family intervene in an attempt to repair the damage? It's easy to sympathize with both sides here. On one hand, Harry has repeatedly emphasized his need to speak his truth and protect his family from what he calls the toxic environment of royal life. On the other hand, Charles Spencer represents the voice of tradition, cautioning against making private matters public. This whole situation begs the question, is there ever a right time to publicly call out your family, even when they are part of an institution like the royal family? And if so, what are the costs? For Spencer, the cost has been too high. The once tight-knit bond between uncle and nephew has now unraveled, and the future remains uncertain. What happens next? So where do they go from here? Will Harry and Spencer ever reconcile, or is this the end of their relationship? What lessons can we take away from this royal rift? Perhaps the most important takeaway is that family relationships, no matter how strong they may seem, are fragile. Even the closest bonds can be tested when personal values clash with public responsibilities. But here's the good news: reconciliation is always possible. It may not happen today or tomorrow, but time has a way of healing wounds. Maybe, just maybe, one day Harry and Charles Spencer will find common ground again. Now that you've seen both sides of the story, where do you stand? Are you more sympathetic to Harry's need for freedom and transparency, or do you feel that Charles Spencer's desire for privacy and caution was justified? Whatever your stance, one thing is clear. This is a story about family loyalty and the difficult choices we all must make in life. So what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to follow for more royal updates. Will this really be the end? As much as this royal fallout has grabbed global headlines, it's important to remember that family dynamics are complex and ever-changing. Just when it feels like all bridges are burned, life has a way of throwing people back together in the most unexpected ways. So can we definitively say that Charles Spencer and Prince Harry's relationship is beyond repair? History has shown that even the most public of rifts can find paths to reconciliation. Let's not forget the ongoing saga of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, who, despite their very public separation, always found a way to maintain a certain level of civility for the sake of their sons. While it may seem like a final decision now, it's possible that in the years to come, Charles Spencer and Harry could look back on this time with different eyes. After all, time softens even the harshest of edges, and regret has a sneaky way of bringing people back together. Healing a fractured relationship is hard. It needs humility, forgiveness, and understanding. Yet we wonder what the next family gathering will be like. What can we learn from this family feud? Most of us face tough choices like the royals. It's about loyalty versus self-preservation. We must decide whether to stay loyal or protect ourselves. This royal drama mirrors our own life conflicts. We've all had to question our family ties at some point. The lesson is not just about choosing sides. It's about understanding our actions' effects. Harry and Charles Spencer didn't mean to cause a rift. Our choices today can hurt those we love. They can lead to lasting damage or unexpected healing. Is this the end for Charles Spencer and Prince Harry, or is it just a new chapter in royal drama? Only time will tell. This story is about family loyalty and responsibility. It shows the impact of our choices, whether they lead to damage or healing. Imagine being in Charles Spencer's shoes. Could you walk away from someone you once loved like a son, or would you try to repair the bond no matter the cost? Was Prince Harry's decision to speak out irresponsible or necessary? Only he can answer that. Family relationships are always a push and pull. Sometimes the distance is too much to bridge, but hope is not lost. We'll keep watching to see if Charles Spencer and Prince Harry can reconcile. In the meantime, we'll think about how to protect and value our relationships, even when things seem impossible. Now that you've read the inside story, what do you think? Could you forgive the public airing of family secrets? Or would you protect your legacy at all costs? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your opinions in the comments below, and let's continue the conversation. And while you're here, don't forget to follow for more royal updates, insights, and behind-the-scenes stories about the lives of those who carry the weight of crowns on their shoulders. The rift between Prince Harry and his family, now including his uncle Charles Spencer, raises questions about the royal family's future. Royal disputes have always fascinated the public, but this one is more polarizing and intensely followed. We've seen the royal family face many storms before. Could this be the one that changes them forever? Charles Spencer's decision to cut ties with Harry might spark a larger shift in the family, making private matters even more guarded, or it could be a call for reconciliation before things get worse. We can't be sure. Royals have always navigated public scandal and internal conflict, but this situation feels more personal. It's about family, deeply rooted in personal beliefs, values, and trust. Could the public play a role in healing the rift? The public's role in royal affairs is hard to ignore. The world's fascination with royals is a double-edged sword. It keeps the monarchy relevant but also increases family tension. But what if public interest could help heal the rift? Imagine fans calling for peace and understanding. Royals, like us, make mistakes and struggle with family issues. Could public support help Harry and Charles Spencer reconcile? It's a long shot, but royals often surprise us. Maybe they'll surprise us with forgiveness this time. Fast forward a few years, the royals could come together again. Prince Harry and Charles Spencer could unite for a cause or celebration. It's not impossible. Royal history shows broken relationships can mend with time and duty. Charles and Harry share a deep connection to Princess Diana's legacy. They might find common ground in honoring her. But the road to reconciliation is long. There's hurt, disappointment, and betrayal to overcome. Both sides must address these issues for healing to begin. This feud reflects the struggle between personal responsibility and public perception. It's about family loyalty in the spotlight and the challenges of personal decisions with public consequences. At its core, this is a story about family. Family, no matter how messy, is worth fighting for. Will Charles Spencer and Prince Harry reconcile? Only time will tell. But family ties, even royal ones, are rarely severed forever. What's your take on reconciliation? Is there hope, or is this a permanent divide? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your input might spark a new conversation. While we're captivated by royal drama, we forget the emotional toll. Charles Spencer chose to cut ties with Prince Harry for his emotional well-being. Imagine being caught in a conflict between family and duty, with every action scrutinized by millions. Prince Harry also carries a heavy emotional burden. Speaking out about family matters can feel isolating, even if it's meant to be liberating. Is Harry struggling with the consequences of his choices? These emotional undercurrents make the story compelling. It's not just about royal protocol or image. It's about human emotions and family discord emotions we can all relate to, whether we're royals or not.